If you are struggling with longer rides on your bike, you are struggling getting up those hills, if you are wanting more longevity in your mountain biking for different rides so you can ride different trails, this video is for you. It's really hard to go out and want the fitness, want the endurance, and not be able to get it for the time that you are able to spend on the bike and riding. I understand it because I've been there. I've been where I have been keeled over the bike handlebars, trying to breathe, sitting down on the ground with my head in my hands, trying to breathe. I have exercise-induced asthma, and it pops up whenever I'm less fit. I've been through multiple surgeries. I've also been where I've had some different gut and things like that issues, and it really set me back a whole lot when it came to my fitness level. I used to play D1 soccer, and not being able to ride up a hill kind of hit me literally in the gut. Like I couldn't do it. And it was so frustrating. A couple of things that I did whenever I was learning this, or whenever I was actually starting to try to get better at this, is one, I gave myself a little bit of a breathing room. I would pick rides that were achievable. And then I would also pick rides that were on the cusp. They were harder. But I would give myself more time to actually complete them. One of the things of more time that it gives you, and riding with people who are okay with more time, is that it gives you more rest breaks. Part of what we do whenever we're thinking about endurance training on our bike is we think of intervals. Intervals are a push and then a rest break, a push and then a rest break. Basically, it's you working hard and then recovering, working hard and recovering. This helps to build and change what your threshold is. That's why zone 4 is called threshold, or at least that's why in my brain it's called threshold, because once you go over into zone 4, which is where you're starting to breathe heavy, you don't really want to say more than 2-word sentences, you know you're working hard. That's whenever you've crossed over into that anaerobic zone. And so as you crossed over into that anaerobic zone, then you start burning your battery. Whenever you are in zone 4 and above, or your anaerobic zone, that means you only have so much time in that zone before you're tapped out. You have a battery bank there. And whenever we think of a battery bank, we're like, okay, well, we can recharge it. Well, as you take rest breaks in that time period, as you are burning your battery, then you get more battery, but you only have so much. And so as you are pushing, you don't want to push yourself on those long rides to where you are keeled over the bike, to where you're like, oh my gosh, I just literally can't go anymore. No, you should have stopped a little bit before that, because then your recovery would have been 1, shorter. 2, it would have been more helpful for your actual cardiac system and your endurance and your muscles, because we need to work on the ability to actually recover. And you would have more in your battery bank, because when you're working extra hard at the end of that period, then you're burning more of your battery quicker. And so we need to think about how we're burning our battery. If you're doing this in such a way that you going and working hard for a bit, take a rest break. Step off your bike, going for a bit, take a rest break. Literally stop. And these combine to actually help your endurance more. They actually make it where you can do longer climbs, longer sustained climbs, punchier climbs, or even longer, like more mileage on your bike, because you're taking these rest breaks. If you just go and tax yourself out and just hang yourself over your bars, you're not actually helping yourself much. So that's number 1, is actually taking rest breaks, spending longer on the trail, which we love to do anyways. It just has to be that kind of forethought. This is going to take me a little bit longer, but this is actually better for my fitness level in doing this. Number two goes along with off the bike, because when we think of our muscles and how we want to use them on the bike, we need to think about what we're doing off the bike too, due to muscle efficiency. Think about like a runner, because I think it's a little bit more easy for our brains to kind of acclimatize to. A runner that runs, hits the ground with a really hard heel strike, and then pushes off again is going to have a little bit more energy output than if we change that running gait to now, instead of hitting heel strike, they hit more midfoot underneath of them. And so they don't have that like stop and start. They're able to just kind of like be a ball rolling. Then they're not going to use as much energy. AKA, they're going to be able to run for longer without feeling as taxed. Same thing can go for your mountain bike. It's just harder to kind of make this happen. But if your core is stronger, then now you're going to be able to support your hands on your handlebars better, not putting so much pressure on them. You're also going to be able to use your glutes, your hamstrings better, not just your quads. And all of these help with your general movement patterning on the bike. This means that you will be able to now use your body more efficiently to help you ride longer and stronger and ride for more miles, get up bigger hills. Having this muscle efficiency is huge. It can really change your riding. If you're looking for a mountain biking workout, check out here. I have a little short 5 exercise workout. It's great. It hits so many different systems in 5 exercises. I love it. It's short, great. But that'll help with your muscle efficiency and helping you to ride longer. It'll help you ride better on the bike. Number three goes into kind of our breathing system, and it kind of ties a little bit to number 2 as well, because it goes into our posture. Our posture on the bike, it matters a lot for our breathing, for our actual ability to get air into our lungs. This can dramatically change your riding just like that. So think about slumping, and now take a deep breath. And now sit up nice and straight and take a deep breath. Go back to slumping again. Can you feel the difference? It's huge. This difference in slouching versus having a flat back and having better posture is huge. The other thing that this helps with is our neck into our ears. And so if I'm here with this, I'm going to put more stress on my neck. I'm going to put more stress a lot of different places. Our neck is actually part of our accessory breathing muscles. And so we have muscles that come down that connect to our rib cage, and they're helping to expand them. And if we're not able to expand down here into our chest and move our kind of ribs and thoracic spine, then we're not going to be able to take a really deep breath and to be able to breathe better for our long climbs. Now, there's different things, thoughts of like breathing through your nose, breathing through your mouth. Whenever you're starting to breathe hard, you're going to eventually breathe through your mouth. It just happens. You need more oxygen. Your brain says, all right, let's go. Make sure you don't take any bugs in that way. I have. I really don't like it. But you're going to have certain times that you have to breathe through your mouth. That's going to make your breath a little bit more shallow. So think about trying to expand down into your lower parts of your lungs. One, slow your breath a little bit. It will make you change your pace on your actual mountain bike, going back to number 1, making sure you're pacing and going and doing your rest breaks in that. But it also helps with slowing your heart rate, slowing your mind, making you less anxious because you're looking at the climb and saying, oh my gosh, I can't get up to that. Pick a spot that you want to look at, that you want to make it to. That's where you're going to take your rest break, just like point number 1. And having that better posture will calm your body a little bit more too, because you're thinking about other things besides just the climb and how bad it sucks. And so changing those different aspects play a huge role. If you liked these and want more information about this type of stuff, hit subscribe. Tell me down in the comments that you liked it, and we'll go from there. Cheers, y'all.